even hard for us to talk about Oklahoma in this light, but it's the truth. I mean, y'all lost to a bad Oklahoma team. It is.
No, it's not. When Oklahoma was bad 2 years ago, I'm like, we just fucking suck. All right. Well, let's move on. Hey, your
Yeah.
team sucks. Okay, what the fuck is your team doing?
What's going on, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Two Peas in a Pod with Tim and Ryan. As always, I'm Tim. That's my player partner, my brother, my dog. The CEO, the co-creator of this here Two Peas in a Pod podcast. Ryan, aka Frank Dank. How you doing today, brother?
I'm well. About yourself, good dog.
I'm good,
Good
man.
side.
As y'all can see, man, I'm feeling a whole lot better compared to last week. If you got through that whole episode last week, I thank you. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that because your boy was struggling. You know what I'm saying?
You'll be all right.
A little bit of, you know what I'm saying, a couple of days, that good old, the hot tea, the honey and lemon. I'm back to myself.
Yep.
Now I can have me some, you know what I'm saying, some lager with a little bit of lemon in it. You know what I'm talking about? Oh man. How your week been going, brother? How was your weekend?
I mean, shit worked. Caught the fights. That was about it. That was about it for me.
I worked all day Saturday. I'm not even gonna lie to you, bro. I was so tired. I passed out by like the third fight. I woke up in time for the main event, but I missed the co-main. But from what I've read and
You
like
missed the
said watching
best
the
fight.
highlight, yeah, like from what I've read and I missed the highlights. Like, once it drop on ESPN Plus, I'll be able to go back and watch it.
Yep. But I mean, homie just found out that at UFC competition is just different.
It is different. It's why it's why it's the number one fight promotion in the world.
Yep.
But some other stuff happened this past weekend, man. The NCAA, I'm excited about this, dog. The NCAA finally dropped the official last and final 12-team college football playoff rankings before we ended up getting into the actual college football playoff. Ryan, what are you most excited about with this entire playoff? Like, do you like this playoff system, or what do or don't you like about it?
I mean, I I thought it was the wins that matter, but they showed us is who you played.
Yeah.
But I mean, to be honest, SMU losing to BYU. I mean, okay, but since they lost to Clemson, that was their first loss in ACC play. The committee awarded them. Alabama was punished for losing inferior competition, and so was Miami. It just goes to show you that you got to win the games you're supposed to win, and you got to stack up the wins no matter what. You pretty much almost guaranteed if you go in there 10, 11 wins in the conference championship game, you're almost guaranteed a spot. And this is why I feel like it's going to eventually be a 16-team playoff because Alabama fans are going to keep pitching the bitch until this time next year. But they got a lot more questions than answers right now.
Yeah, Alabama fans, they was probably sitting outside the committee office of the committee. How the fuck we can get in? Every time one of them members from the committee goes to the stove, you know what I'm saying, be at their kid's concert or somebody's gonna be right there. We're supposed to get you're supposed to put us in the playoff. What bullshit is that's what they doing.
They was outside the committee's building with pitchforks and tiki torches. You know what I'm saying? Real upset, real angry.
I will say this. The two things that I really like about this playoff system. One, it's you got a couple teams that have been like right outside the college football playoff the last couple years, like probably deserving to get in, and now they, you got a couple teams that finally get the opportunity, like Boise State. It's been at least, granted, we can say what we want about the competition or whatever, but it's been at least like 3 or 4 times that they've been like right on the outside of getting in the college football playoff, and they didn't get in. Number two, the other thing that I like is for the teams that's in the college football playoff or that's like always finishing like the top 10, and you look at their schedule, be like, bro, y'all didn't play nobody. It's like, yeah, ain't no running now. Ain't no running now. Like now y'all you yeah, we know. We know. You ain't got a cough. You ain't got a cough. We know, which we gonna get to that in a minute. But yeah, all the teams that like we always question, like, damn, they top 10, who the fuck did they play? Ain't no more running no more. Everybody gotta see everybody now at this point.
I pretty much felt like Miami had to have one loss or go undefeated to get in, and probably win the conference title to get in. Just based off the fact the strength of schedule, they didn't really, and it's not Miami's fault that they didn't play nobody that had a number next to their name when they played them that week. That's not their fault. They still went out and won 10 games. I just felt like the Syracuse loss is what did it. They could have got by. Yeah, late in the year too, right before conference championship week. It's like, no, you can't lose that game.
All y'all had to do was win that game, bro. All y'all had to do was win that game.
And I felt like, well, I don't know, maybe Alabama could get in, maybe Miami could get in if SMU loses, but that wasn't the case, and so now we're gonna see what Boise State and company do. Real interested to see the winner of that Ohio State-Tennessee game. The winner plays Oregon. A lot of people will be interested in seeing a rematch between Ohio State and Oregon, but I mean, it's just going to come down to quarterback play yet again for that team.
Well, let's go back to the SMU and Bama thing. Like, how did you feel about SMU getting in over Bama?
I mean, SMU was undefeated in conference play up until the conference championship game.
Right.
So that has to be acknowledged at some point. That has to be respected at some point. And really, they was in Miami shadow because everybody was Cam Ward. I don't want to say Reposado or
Restrepo.
What's his name? Restrepo's name. Yeah. They was all this Miami, and then quietly SMU was just coming along, winning games, and it proved to work out in their favor. And I mean, Clemson, Dabo, especially Dabo, has proved that he can do it his way, at least for this season. But eventually, if he's going to be competitive and keep getting to this point throughout his career, for the remainder of his career, however long that's going to be, he's going to have to get in the transfer portal and get players.
He will.
That's just simple. That's just simple. And without Dabo doing that, I don't see him being at Clemson this long. Him winning the ACC title saved his job, I feel like, for the next season.
I agree. I think the College Football Playoff Committee got it right. They putting SMU over Bama. For Bama, I mean, you can't have 2 losses to unranked teams, especially like later, one of them especially coming later in the year.
And you can't lose to a team who can't pass the ball.
That too.
You can't. And
y'all scored one time.
A field goal. You flew to Norman. You went to Norman and kicked a field goal and come home.
And you also can't lose to Vanderbilt, of which y'all have not lost to them since like 1990. So now granted, they did lose to Tennessee, but that Tennessee loss didn't hurt as bad as the Vanderbilt and the Oklahoma loss. The Oklahoma loss is really what did it. Whether people want to think about it or not, the Oklahoma loss is really what did it.
I don't know. If they go on beat Vanderbilt and lose to Oklahoma with 2 losses, I don't know. I don't know. I can't sit here and say Alabama doesn't get in, but like with a Tennessee loss, that's respectable. Yeah. At Vanderbilt, which they proved to be a decent team later on throughout the season, it's kind of respectable. But then you lose to a Oklahoma team that can't pass the ball.
Right.
No, dog.
And look, we Oklahoma fans, and it's even hard for us to talk about Oklahoma in this light, but it's the truth. I mean, y'all lost to a bad Oklahoma team. It is.
No, it's not. When Oklahoma was bad 2 years ago, I'm like, we just fucking suck. All right, well, let's move on. Hey, your team sucks. Okay, what the fuck is your team doing?
Right.
Okay.
We've been in the college football playoff, what, 5 of the last like 7
Four
years?
times. Four times. Four times.
Like, where's your team been at?
No wins. I mean, Texas can relate to that. So okay.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I definitely feel like the college football playoff committee got it right this year. And I don't know. I don't know about you, bro, but I think this college football playoff, it just adds much. I'm so excited for this shit, bro. I'm so excited for this shit. Like, this is probably, and we've talked about it before, this is the first year that even with all the teams that's in the college football playoff, there is not one team that I look at in this bracket, this tournament or whatever, that I can say I'm very confident that they're going to get it done. We're not going to pick the winner of the tournament just yet. But, it's just, I'm just throwing it out there. That, like, I don't know, bro. I'm really not super confident in any of these teams.
I'm not super confident what I'm about to say, but that's just how I feel. I think the winner of the college football playoff is Georgia.
You're not the only person to think that either.
I think it's going to be Georgia.
They're the most experienced in this situation. They're the most experienced, and they, like it or not, I still think they're the best team in the college football playoff. Even though Oregon is undefeated, Georgia's way more battle tested.
I think that's the team Georgia's probably going to beat.
Oregon
in the championship game. Yeah,
it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me.
It wouldn't surprise me if Oregon won either. But I just don't think. Oregon has proved, okay, we can play Big Ten football. They won the Big Ten championship their first year. So, I mean, and they had to play Ohio State. They had to play did they play? They didn't play Penn State in the regular season, did they?
Not the regular season. I think they played them conference championship weekend.
I mean, they had to play a surprisingly good, who also made the playoffs, Indiana team.
Yeah.
They played a Big Ten schedule. I mean, they beat.
And they got the hard, and they had the hard side of the Big Ten schedule too. So. Yeah, it's respectable.
And what I love with all this conference realignment, there's no more divisions. They're just whoever is the best two teams.
Yeah.
At the end, they get in, and I love that. I love that personally. I love that personally. So moving on. What?
Well, ain't no moving on. We got to jump off into it, baby. Let's do it, man.
Right.
All right, first round of the college football playoff. We got Texas versus Clemson, Tennessee, Ohio State, SMU versus Penn State, Indiana, Notre Dame. Winner of the Texas and Clemson game, which we're gonna talk about that game first. We got in the rankings. Number 16 Clemson is going to take on number 3 Texas. The winner of this game is going to move on to play Arizona State. Of course, Clemson had a 34-3 loss to Georgia, and they lost to South Carolina. Both of Texas' losses surprisingly came to Georgia. I think also and they also had a loss to an unranked Louisville team. So, Ryan, who do you like? How do you see this game panning out? Who do you who do you think wins this game?
Cool backstory. So, with Cade Klubnik, is that right for Clemson's quarterback? That's how you pronounce it.
Yeah. I don't know if it's Klubnik, however the fuck you pronounce it.
And Quinn Ewers played against each other in the state championship in high school.
Mm-hmm.
And Quinn Ewers' team put a boot to ass to Cade's team. So, I mean, on paper, and you look at the records and I guess strength of schedule and all that, people will lean towards Texas, and I would too. But this is just a game to where, I mean, it's kind of going to be similar to the SEC championship game, which quarterback can come in and play, and it was a backup. Neither quarterback on Georgia's team passed for 100 yards. I guess that's the theme with SEC teams this year.
But. And partially that's because Carson Beck got hurt. But
I mean, bro, he didn't have a great game before he got hurt.
Yeah,
It's the
that's true
last,
too.
it's the last play of the game. I get it. You just want to get a spark to get something, but your job of quarterback is to not only protect the ball but protect yourself.
Right.
And honestly, bro, Carson Beck, look, bro, giving him Lambo keys, give me the playbook after this season. I don't even give a shit. They win a national championship, giving him Lambo keys, give me the playbook, and turn in your fucking jersey and get the fuck out of Akron. That's just how I feel. But getting back on topic, I'll probably pick Texas to win this game. Maybe convincingly. Maybe convincingly. I just don't feel like Clemson matches up well. Now they'll be juiced up, ready to play. It's the playoffs, be playing for something. So it'll be a good game. But I think Texas might come out and win. But there's also a possibility Texas will Texas this thing. So yeah.
I would agree. I definitely think Texas wins this game. I mean, on paper, yeah, the stats say there should be what I'm saying, not necessarily, I was going to say clean sweep, but this should be a boot to ass, a belt to ass, an ass whooping. But when you can't look at with Texas is kind of an outlier here when it comes to stats because when you look at their strength of schedule, they didn't play no fucking body. So they shit is a little more hyped up than it should be. I mean, they got literally a cupcake schedule in the fucking SEC. So I do think Texas wins, but I think this game may be a little bit closer than people expect it to be. Just I do think, I know Clemson hasn't been here in a while. K Klubnik hasn't been here, but Clemson's always they've always been somewhat of a scrappy team. And Klubnik or Klubnik, however you say his name, he's made a tremendous, he's made a tremendous improvement from last year to this year. So I do expect this game to be a little bit more competitive than a lot of people think, but I think Texas pulls away at the end. I think fourth quarter Texas, I think they ramp it up on them. And I think they pull away at the end.
Respectable. That's respectable.
And once again, the winner moves on to play Arizona State. And once again, Texas gets the easy side of the fucking, they get the easy part of every fucking thing. And once again, this is the NCAA. This is the NCAA's way of saying they want Texas to be the new face of college football.
I just wish OU had some oil money. That's all.
Well, let's move on to a little less depressing team or game. But next up, we got Tennessee versus Ohio State. The winner of this game will move on to Oregon. Number 7, Tennessee versus number 6, Ohio State. Both teams sit at 10-2. Tennessee has losses to Georgia and Arkansas. Ohio State has losses to Oregon and Michigan. Ryan, you go ahead. Tell me how you think how you think this game, pans out and who you think comes out victorious.
I think this game is going to be real close. But, I just can't help but feel like Ohio State's quarterback is just going to just make a mistake at the end and cost them. Now, granted, I don't feel like Ohio State has seen a front seven like Tennessee all year or the secondary. And then flip that, I don't feel like Tennessee has seen an offensive line like that all year that Ohio State has. Well, I mean, never mind, because Ohio State has been having offensive line trouble the whole season. And it's amazing that they only had just the 2 losses. And I think it showed up big in the Michigan game. But I think this game is going to be close. I think Tennessee has the better quarterback, the better play caller, which I feel like is going to be the difference in this ball game. But it's going to be close. It's going to be entertaining, but I'm going Tennessee.
Personally, I'm going to have to go with Ohio State in this game. And it's simply because I don't think Tennessee's seen an offense like this. Like you got pretty much you got 5 stars all around on that, on that offense. And then you got that 2-headed monster, Henderson and Judkins coming out the backfield. So I just think that Ohio State offense is a little too much firepower for him. Granted, I do know Tennessee plays in the SEC, and they have that SEC grit, the SEC toughness. But my big concern really is Nico. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce his last name. Amaliava, I think that's how you pronounce his last name. If he, makes a turn, if he, turns the ball over, kind of like how he did in that Ohio State game, kind of how he did in that Bama game, I think Ohio State has the offense to capitalize on it. You know what I mean? Like you can't have, especially at this time of year, college football playoff, you can't have that many turnovers in a game like that and expect to still come out victorious, especially late in the game. So we'll see. But yeah, I think that Ohio State Tennessee game, I think that's gonna be the game of the weekend. I see that. I see that. I see that. That's gonna be one of them like 40. Both teams gonna score like in the 40s type shit.
41, 45 type. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm looking forward to that one. I'm definitely looking forward to that one. But yeah, give me Ohio State. Yeah, in that game, the winner will move on to play Oregon.
It's money and then rematch, but they got to play the game. They got to play the game.
All right, moving on to the next game. We got number 10 SMU and number 4 Penn State. Winner of this game will move on to play Boise State. Number 10 SMU do have losses to BYU, which BYU did. Now, granted, BYU was not ranked at the beginning of the year when both of these teams played, but BYU did end up being ranked, and they did lose to Clemson in the ACC title game. Then you got number 4 Penn State, who Penn State does have losses to Ohio State and Oregon, two highly ranked teams in Ohio.
Two teams that made the playoffs.
Two teams that made the playoffs. And, they lost to Oregon in the Big Ten title game. Ryan, how do you see this game playing out?
They can go two ways. It could be like, holy shit, Penn State's defense never seen an offense like this, or SMU is just going, maybe that Big Ten physicality might be too much for the front seven for SMU. It could be like that, or you know what I'm saying. I know they quarterback can sling that thing, and I'm so sorry I don't know his name right now, but I know he can sling that thing. Though he's very talented, and I think he got another 2 years left to play at SMU, if I'm not mistaken. So they, can get better.
Well, he's in the transfer portal now.
SMU's quarterback?
Yes, he's transferring. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm not talking about the guy who started. I'm talking about the nigga that's playing. That the black guy.
Okay, yeah.
The black guy. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So it's gonna come down to really quarterback play again. I think this is gonna be a theme. Obviously defense is always in the question because we talking about championships and defense. The best defense usually wins the championship. But I feel like this game in particular is gonna come down to quarterback play. I want to go SMU, but I can see Penn State winning it. But then, hell, this is probably be James Franklin's biggest win since beating Ohio State in 2016.
Yeah, because I need like 1-10 against ranked opponents or something like that. That's not Ohio State or Michigan.
And they want to fire Ryan Day, but all he does is shits out 10, 11 win seasons every year, which is extremely hard. Which is extremely hard to do.
Yeah.
Extremely hard to do. This is his third, fourth playoff appearance as a head coach?
Yeah. So I'm going to take Penn State in this game, and I don't think it's going to be close. I really don't think it's going to be close. I think this Penn State offense is going to be way too physical for SMU's defense, and I think Penn State runs away with this. I think this gets out of control early. I think it gets out of control early. And, I think Penn State beats just about anybody not named Ohio State or Michigan or Oregon. But I can't see Penn State doing some Penn State shit and fucking this up. But no, I definitely think that I don't think this game is going to be close. I possibly think that this may be the biggest blowout of the weekend. Like I fuck with SMU. I'm not even a Penn State fan, but just knowing what I know about Penn State, this game I just feel like this game gonna get out of hand quickly. And yeah, I got Penn State in the blowout in this one.
Mm-hmm.
Now the last game, we got number 8, Indiana, who I definitely didn't see these motherfuckers getting here. But we got number 8, Indiana versus number 5, Notre Dame. Winner of this game will move on to sacrifice themselves against Georgia. But they do have Indiana does. I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying.
I'm like, damn, the winner of that is. Do you even want to win this game?
No, facts though. No, that's facts. But Indiana does have losses to Ohio State, and that's really the only loss they have in Ohio State.
Northern Illinois. Oh, you talking about?
No,
Oh,
no,
I'm sorry.
Indiana. No,
Indiana.
but
This is honestly, this is the battle of Indiana.
yeah, pretty much. And then Notre Dame does have that loss to Northern Illinois. But yeah, like Ryan said, this is pretty much the battle of when you think about it, it's pretty much the battle of Indiana. That's why this game. I think this game is going to be very interesting. But Ryan, go ahead and take this first. How you think this game plays out? Who you think comes out victorious?
My mind tells me Notre Dame. It's the Fighting Irish, but my heart says, damn, it'd be cool if their first 10-win, 11-win season in program history, they can knock off Notre Dame and get their heads ripped off by Georgia in the quarterfinals. but so I'm gonna go Indiana. I think that team has a better scheme than Notre Dame, but don't get it twisted. Notre Dame has a for real defense. They got some dogs on that defense. I just don't know if they're gonna be ready for Indiana's scheme. They have a great scheme. Indiana has a good quarterback. They got decent pieces on offense. So this might be the most interesting game of wild card college football playoff weekend.
First round. So, this is gonna be a crazy ass first round, bro. I don't know, man. Depending on how this first round of the college football playoff is, this might take viewership. Well, I don't think it's gonna take viewership away from NFL playoffs, but like, bro, if you're not, I think this first round, this is going to bring a lot of eyes to college football. But, bro, I'm gonna go Indiana because I got a feeling that Notre Dame is gonna do some Notre Dame shit, and they're going to blow it because we all know when the lights are biggest on Notre Dame is when they. And let's keep it.
Hold on. Now, last year though, that game against Ohio State came down to literally to the last motherfucking play.
Yeah,
that was a great game.
But I also look at it like this: Indiana. Let's keep it a buck. Indiana feel like, what the fuck we got to lose? Like, we come out here like nobody expected us to be here. So if we lose, it's like, so what?
Oh, that's Indiana I've been waiting on.
Yeah, it's like, well, we expected them to do this, but it's like, but if we win, then fucking, what I'm saying, we win. Nobody's expecting Indiana to win this shit. So they gonna come. They gonna come out playing motivated, and like you said, it's the battle of Indiana. So even though this is Notre Dame's house, them Hoosier fans, that history runs deep. So they gonna have Notre Dame's arena packed out just as much as Notre Dame fans will. But yeah, man, I take Indiana. And like I said, the winner of this game is moving on to sacrifice themselves to get
a good. Who's ranked higher? Notre Dame.
Yes, Notre Dame is ranked higher. Notre Dame is ranked higher.
A good chunk of that motherfucker is gonna have that Hoosier colors in there. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
And this Indiana's biggest football game and shit.
This is their biggest football game in program history.
Yeah. The basketball program's always been bigger, but
it was the Ohio State game, and we kind of saw how that went, which is why I'm kind of feeling like, I don't know, Notre Dame might just drop these niggas on their head. But at the same time, I just feel like one of these teams is going to win a game that they shouldn't because they juiced up as the playoffs.
Yeah. And then I also feel like this too. I feel like Notre Dame could, jump. Indiana could jump on them early, and Notre Dame may make like a late run because they're not. I don't think Indiana has a whole lot of experience of closing out games like that because they haven't been in a situation like this. So I can't see that as well. But no, yeah, I'm gonna stick with my original pick, and I'm gonna go with Indiana.
Okay, that is totally fine. Go Hoosiers.
Yes, sir. Go just for this game. Just for this game.
You funny as fuck, dog.
just for this game. But all right, let's go ahead and transition over to the NFL, man. Some, we do got some pretty interesting topics to talk about. I did want to talk about Mr. Kirk Cousins' struggles. This is 4 straight losses by the Falcons, and Kirk Cousins in these 4 games, Kirk Cousins has thrown no TDs, 4 straight losses, and 8 interceptions. Do you think? And granted, Atlanta's still in the playoff race. But
because they win a division, because they got a 4-2 record, 4-1 record
in the division record. In the division, yeah. The last 4 games have been against the Saints, the Broncos, the Chargers, and the Vikings. Granted, do you think it's time to start Michael Penix?
No. This is what you brought in Kirk Cousins to do. He's going to play 2 years, and then after the second year is over with, or if they having a fucked up season next year where they're not going to make the playoffs, you put in Michael Penix, you trade Kirk Cousins to a team that needs to rebuild, you get some pieces or some draft picks, and you just usher on the future of Michael Penix. Kirk Cousins, he's a role model on how to prepare, how to come to the facility, how to, rehab, all these things that you want your new starting quarterback to be. I feel like he's a great role model for Michael Penix. They have similar games in the aspect of they're not really runners, although when he was at Indiana, and last time Indiana football had a good record, Michael Penix was the head coach, was the quarterback starting. Yeah. But after a couple ACL injuries and things like that, shoulder injuries, he had to change his game up to become more of a pocket passer. Now he can run, but he doesn't want to because for obvious reasons. So no, you play it out because you fuck around and still make the playoffs based off your division record.
I agree with you. I think you stick with Kirk for at least another week. I think you ride this until if y'all get eliminated from playoff contention, then I say you bench Kirk. Let Michael Penix get in, there, get him some run, and see what y'all possibly can build on for next season because you still got some pieces on that offense. You know what I'm saying? Y'all still got a solid defense. I say stick with Kirk until this thing just falls off. You know what I'm saying? With y'all until you get eliminated from playoff contention, which honestly I think will be very soon. Until they get eliminated from playoff contention, I do think they stick with Kirk. But the moment that, it starts looking shady again, if we have another game out of this from Kirk, then I say you go with Michael Penix, or y'all get eliminated from playoff contention, you bench Kirk Cousins, start Michael Penix, let him get some run, so he can have something to prepare and build off on in the offseason. And I think next season you start Michael Penix, or you let them battle it out in the preseason. You start Michael Penix and midway through the season or early, midway at the early point in the season, and you trade Kirk Cousins for, to a team that's a rebuilding team that's going to be bringing in a new quarterback or that has a quarterback, and let Kirk, show this man how to be a professional and what it takes to be a starter in the league.
Mm-hmm. Totally agree. Yep. Could have said it better myself, my good side.
Yeah, but Atlanta's still in they are sitting at 6-7. They're still in the playoff hunt. They do have their last 4 games. They do have the Raiders, the Giants, the Commanders, and the Panthers. So, I mean, it's all but over. It's all but over for the Falcons and Kirk Cousins. Now, if he fuck up one of these next 4 games,
what's Tampa Bay's record?
Tampa Bay 7-6.
Nigga, this is a toss up. It's a toss up.
Yeah, no. I think they 7 is. Now I got to check.
It's a toss up because I want to say Tampa Bay is creeping up, but with all the injuries, they beat the Raiders.
They 7-6, and they just got Mike Evans back too. So
yeah, I saw that. So we'll see.
Yep. All right, moving on to the next topic. Is it time to talk about Saquon Barkley for MVP? Like, do you think he's in the MVP race? Saquon Barkley does have 1,623 yards and 11 touchdowns, 267 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns. So, I mean, and Saquon's been playing out of his mind lately. The Giants are fucking stupid for letting this man walk.
So he got damn near 1,900 yards from scrimmage.
Yeah, pretty much 1,900 yards from scrimmage and 13 total touchdowns. I mean, do you think it's time to talk? Can we put Saquon in the MVP conversation? You think he got a good shot at winning this thing?
Okay, the conversation is Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, and Saquon. So my question is, what are Derrick Henry's rushing numbers?
Derrick Henry's rushing numbers: 1,407 rushing yards and 13 TDs.
Okay, that kicks Derrick down. Okay, now I know Josh Allen's having a crazy fucking season passing the ball. And then with them couple losses lately that the Ravens have been fucking taking, it's kind of leaning more towards the guy over there at Buffalo. Right. But Saquon is 1,000% in the conversation because if he's not healthy and he's not playing on the Eagles, do they even win 7 games without Saquon?
Yeah, I agree. Because I mean, they damn near dead last in passing.
28th last I checked.
Yeah, and I mean, now granted, I think a lot of that is attested to Saquon's success. I mean, and the running game. So it's like, damn, do we really need to pass? I mean, you need to pass, but I think they've been doing a good job of only passing when they need to.
I mean, but fuck, man, like Jalen was just finished second in MVP voting not all that long ago.
Yep.
And now it's like, damn, you looking like Jalen from Alabama doing the, when they lost in the national championship game to Clemson.
Yeah.
I'm going to break off to the right. But no, it's a scheme thing. And, you coach to your quarterback strengths. And right now, that similar to the 49ers before this year, they were just so talented everywhere else that they kind of just blanketed the quarterback to where he didn't have to do a whole lot. So shout out to Saquon. He's definitely in MVP conversations. He might end up finishing second or third, though, depending on how the voters feel and how the season ends and shakes out. But I feel like the MVP is Josh
Allen. I mean, I would agree. I think it's time. I think as Saquon is definitely in the MVP conversation as well as possibly comeback player of the year. I mean, I do think that, Saquon is like half of the Eagles offense. It's pretty much Saquon is 50% of a little more than 50% of the Eagles offense. And then it's Jalen and AJ Brown and Devontae and all those guys. But 50% of it is definitely Saquon. I definitely think he's in the MVP conversation. And I think he might he has the opportunity to get the rushing record. The rushing record is 2,105 yards. Saquon's sitting at 16-23 with 4 games left. Now, these next 4 games, I think is going to dictate where he ranks in the MVP, if he will get voted as MVP. He does have the Steelers up next, which the Steelers are ranked 5th in rushing defense. He does have the Commanders. Commanders are ranked 27 in rush defense. Does have the Cowboys. Cowboys are ranked 31st in rush defense, and then the Giants are ranked 29th in rush defense. So it's like you get
this motherfucker might get 2,000 yards rushing.
That's what I'm saying. You gonna get your last 3 games or against your division rivals, and then it's like the very last game is against New York against the Giants, and I think that game is that game in Philly. Hold on.
I think so.
Oh yeah. He might fuck around and get this rushing record, bro. He might fuck because that last game. If he don't decide to sit out that last game, he's gonna come out pissed off. He's going to come out pissed off.
When Saquon could have broke his own rushing record for a game, and he didn't do it, I don't know. He might sit out for the playoffs. But if I'm Saquon, nigga, go ahead because it's contract incentives.
Oh yeah.
If you break certain barriers, so nigga.
Well, he's already broke the Eagles scrimmage. The Eagles scrimmage yard. The Eagles record for scrimmage yards is 1607. So,
then who had that record? Brian Westbrook,
Shady, LaShawn McCoy.
I don't know why I don't be thinking about Shady because they just had so many disappointing playoff runs. They just felt like they should have ended their season at least in the Super Bowl.
Cough, Donovan McNabb. Well, one of them was in the Super Bowl. I know that year they had Donovan McNabb and Terrell Owens and Brian Westbrook and all them, they made it to the Super Bowl. Then when they had Vic, Jeremy Maclin, and Deshaun Jackson, I think they made it. They made it to the playoffs a couple times, but they can never get over that hump.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, man, shout out to Saquon, and I'm personally, I would like to see him get the MVP or at least get the rushing record. But which brings me to my next topic of conversation. I would like to talk about the value of running backs, bro. Now, we all have seen that the running back position has been devalued the last few years with the years Saquon Barkley and Derrick Henry are having. Right along with, how the Detroit Lions pretty much they feed off of the success of Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. And then, you got a guy, and then we even got to toss like Ashton Genty, the success that he's having in college. Possibly, him is right now is between him and Travis. Do you think the value of the running back is rising once again?
No, because Chris McCaffrey's the highest paid, and
That's fair. That's fair.
So, I mean, a lot of people want to blame Zeke, which I don't understand why. I mean, I totally would go with Todd Gurley and all
Todd
that.
Gurley and Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah, I kind of would go with that. But also, I'm thinking about the last running back to get $100 million contract. That was Adrian Peterson. And he was a fucking dude. And when you look at Saquon and Derrick Henry, they're kind of like in that old school throwback, can do everything back. They're in that mode of Adrian Peterson. First of all, they gym rats. Second of all, knock on wood, they don't really get hurt like that. And third of all, they're just everything you want a running back to be. So yeah, if we had about 10, 12 of them kind of niggas around, yeah, but you gotta look at the running backs we had when we was coming up. We had Adrian Peterson, we had Steven Jackson, we had Frank Gore, we had DeMarco Murray, Maurice Jones-Drew, Fred Taylor,
Doug Martin for a couple of years. Shit, like you said, Steven Jackson, Sean. What was the guy from the Seahawks?
Sean
Alexander, Beanie Wells, what is the guy? Ahmad Green.
Ricky Williams,
Kevin
Curtis, Kevin Falk, who was the Martin. Guy, Curtis Martin on the Jets back in the day. Nick, those was, and then like he had like some type of nerve damage to where every time he ran, it excruciatingly hurt. He could have had a rushing record, but hell, it hurt to run.
yeah.
Shit. So I mean, and then the game has changed. It went from 5-step drop back quarterbacks to play breaks down. Go out there and make it happen, son. Or you calling a fucking RPO where you drop back and then now you're going up. You know what I'm saying? So the game has changed tremendously to where, I'm not gonna say you don't need a running back because some of these offenses have running principles to where you need to run the football to open up everything else you want to do.
I agree.
But in terms of putting the whole team on a running back's shoulders, no, because time and time again you see what happens in the
end. I actually disagree. I think the value of running backs is increasing because of the seasons that Saquon and Derrick Henry are having. I mean, when you look at what the Giants were with Saquon, now that he's not there, I'm talking about before he got hurt. The Giants were a different team. They were a threat simply because of Saquon. When you look at what Derrick Henry did with the Titans were a threat because of Derrick Henry. When you talk about the Titans, granted, Tannehill he was decent. He was okay. But nobody was game planning for Tannehill. Everybody was game planning for Derrick Henry.
When they had A.J. Brown, to play action.
Yeah.
Where the fuck is AJ?
But I mean, even after AJ left, granted, the Titans were no longer really a threat, but Derrick Henry was. You still had Derrick Henry. And then when you look at Josh Jacobs, what Josh Jacobs was to the Raiders when he left, look at what the Raiders are. Look at what Josh,
Green
look at what
Bay, they got
look at,
he's third.
yeah,
He's
like
third in rushing.
he is third in rushing. And like, what I'm saying, look at what Josh Jacobs is doing for the Packers in his first year. Then you look at what Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery are doing for the Lions. I mean, granted, the Lions are a good team all around, but they feed off of the running game. They get, they get Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery going early, and that sets the tone for that offense. And then you got a guy like Aston Genty in college who's in the Heisman, he's in the Heisman race. He could possibly win the fucking Heisman. He's a running back. You know what I'm saying? Some of the hottest players in football, some of the hottest players in football this year are running backs. So I do think the running back position is on the rise again as far as value, but it'll be interesting to see what the market is like for the next couple of years. Granted, I know Christian McCaffrey did get, he got paid and then he got hurt, but I mean, you can't argue the last, I want to say year and a half in football. Well, the last year, the first half of the year before that, Christian McCaffrey was the fucking man. He was arguably the best player in football last year. So
Christian McCaffrey has this thing, right? All the injuries he might be done, and then he has a couple great years, and then he gets paid, and then Madden curse comes in, and he kind of fucks up everything.
Yeah, I would agree. It definitely sucks because I love Christian McCaffrey. I love it. He's just a fun dude to watch, man. He's real quiet. He don't get all, he don't talk a whole lot. He let his play do, he let his play do the talking. And it speaks loudly.
I mean, he's probably had one of the best off seasons ever. You can't turn on the TV without seeing his ass at least once.
Yeah,
during the week, and then on Sunday and Saturday. Oh my God,
that's true. That is true. I mean, like I said, I definitely hope he get back healthy. Gonna be interesting to see what he can do next year. But yeah, it's pretty much over this year. Not pretty much, it's over this year. It's not over for the team though. Not over for the team though, which is what I did want to talk to you about. The NFC West is very interesting. I think it's only going to be one team that's going to make it from this, maybe two that's going to make it from the NFC West. Obviously, the Seahawks sit first at 8-5. The Rams sit. I think they have.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they sit now. They sit first in the division, and then I think right behind them is the Rams. Then right behind the Rams is the Cardinals. Then right behind the Cardinals. This is surprising. Last in NFC West, I think, is the 40. Is it the 49ers or the? Yeah, last in NFC West is the 49ers. When the last time that shit happened?
2017.
That shit's crazy to think about.
No. 16. Yeah.
But when you look at the NFC and all these teams, as of right now, the Rams are right outside of the NFC wild card race, sitting at the AC. Then 2 spots behind them is the Arizona Cardinals, and then right behind the Arizona Cardinals is the San Francisco 49ers. Arizona and San Francisco both sit at 6-7. The Rams set at 7-6, and obviously the Seahawks sit at 8-5. Another surprising year for them. Now, out of the Seahawks, the Rams, and out of the 49ers, the Cardinals, and the Rams, which one of these teams do you think has the best chance of snagging that last wild card spot? The Rams last 4 games after the win against the Bills. Rams last 4 games, they have the 49ers, the Jets, the Cardinals, and the Seahawks. The 49ers last 4 games, they have the Rams, the Dolphins, the Lions, and the Cardinals. And the Cardinals last 4 games, they have the Patriots, the Panthers, the Rams, and the 49ers. Now, those 3 teams, and with the records I just named, and with the not the records, but the schedules I just named off, which of these teams do you think has the best chance of possibly getting that last wild card spot?
Well, I mean, you would say Arizona, right? But they don't really show up in every game they play. So for me personally, Rams might sneak in, but I'm leaning more towards the Seahawks.
Well, the Seahawks is in first.
They just seem like you're talking about to win the division or make their last wild card, because even if they win the division, they still might be the last wild card team.
No, if they win the division, they in the playoffs regardless. I'm talking about the last wild card spot.
Well, I'm going Arizona, but they don't always show up. So, and then now the Rams have found a rhythm and flow. Puka's healthy, Kupp is healthy. They running the ball just enough to make defenses honest. They just beat the fucking Bills, who Josh Allen scored 6 touchdowns and lost.
Yeah, and that's crazy because that's the first time. I don't know if you read that stat, but that's the first time both
3
teams have
rushing,
scored.
3 passing.
Well, no, that's the first time both teams have scored 40 points and neither team turned the ball over.
Which is insane. They just
Yeah,
let you know defenses were just getting cooked that day
yeah.
on both sides of the ball. And I think Josh Allen had a crazy stat to be the first quarterback with 3 rushing and 3 passing touchdowns in the game,
Mm-hmm.
which that's fucking insane. It would just that just improved his case for me to get MVP. But really, it's a 2-team race because I don't have the 49ers doing shit. Sorry, I just don't.
You're not the
But
first. You're not the only person. I don't either.
so to me, this is gonna. I think the Seahawks are gonna win the division, but I also feel like it's gonna come down probably to week 17 or week 18
Yeah.
to who we find out who's gonna make the playoffs, either the Rams or Cardinals. I'm gonna go Cardinals because you know why.
Yeah. I
But
know.
yeah,
I know. I know. I know. When I look at these three teams' record and like how they're playing, I think the Rams may sneak in because they found, continuity late in the year. They got, they got Puka and Cooper back healthy on the offense at the same time. And, they are both playing lights out. That they are very well balanced offense. They can do both. They can run the ball well. They can pass the ball well. And the defense is picking up at the right time too. Some of them young guys, they're figuring, they figuring out how to play with each other. They look great. Arizona is too inconsistent for me. They don't get me wrong, like, bro, when they show up, they show up. And, they can't be a fun team to watch, but they have one good game where they're like, damn, bro, they could really, they could really turn into something. Then it's like then they have 2 games right after that where it's like, bro, who the fuck is this team? You know what I'm saying?
right,
So
right.
when I look at, and granted, the Rams do have the tougher schedule out of all 4 of these teams, but when I just look at the way these teams are playing, I personally think with the way the Rams are playing, firing off all both sides of the ball, offense and defense, I think it's possible if it really comes down to it. I think that it's possible that the Rams could possibly steal that last wild card spot. It's really going to come down to Washington because when you look at Washington really has the last wild card playoff spot. But their last 4 games are against the Saints, the Eagles, the Falcons, and the Cowboys. So as long as they can get past the Saints, I think as long as they can get past the Eagles and the Falcons, they may be okay.
That should be 4 winnable games, but we got a rookie quarterback. Defense don't always show up. Things happen. Weird shit just come out. Just play bad one game. Yeah, I don't know. This is why we watch the fucking game.
Yeah, December is always one of the most interesting times of the year when it comes to football because you got, all the games implement playoff, positioning, who's going to make the playoffs, and you got the college football playoff, which we get what is it? Shit. You get 8 games between the first, 2 rounds. Then we get 4 games. So we get about
9, 10 games.
15. Well, you get 8. You
1,
get
2,
8.
3,
Then
4,
you get 8.
5,
Then
6,
that's
7,
12.
8, 9, 10. You get 10 games from college. Then they added the extra 2 wild cards. So what the fuck is wild card? Shit, it's 3 days.
Yeah, well, I'm talking about just the college football playoff. What is that? You get
That's
first
10.
The first two rounds is 8 games. Because you got 4 games in the
Right.
first round, and those teams move on. That's 8 games.
Then the chance and then okay, because right, you got first round, then you got quarterfinals, and you got semifinals, and you got the national championship. 8, 9,
That's 11
10,
games.
11, 12. Yeah.
Yeah, that's 11 games. Let's look at it.
I think that's 10 games.
Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold on. So these. Oh yeah, that's 9 games. That's 11 games. I'm sorry.
Okay.
You're looking at it.
Okay. Come on, bitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,
11.
11.
Yeah,
So
it's 11
11
games.
games.
Yeah. So hey, great time to be a football
Shit.
fan, man.
Like come second week in February. I think some of us might be tired of football.
Shit. Hey. It ain't gonna be me. I'll tell you that right now.
No, it's not going to be me either because hopefully I'll be off weekends by February and I'll at least be able to enjoy the fucking Super Bowl in
Same here.
peace.
Same here, man. Same here. All right. So before we get up out of here, last but not least, we do have our week 15 picks, rapid fire picks, obviously. Ryan, I'm gonna call out a game, and then you call out the winner of that game right back to me, who you think gonna win that game, and then I'll do the same. All right, first up, we got your team. We got the Chiefs and the Browns.
Chiefs.
Take the Chiefs as well in that game. No question about that one. Cowboys and the Panthers.
Panthers.
I'll take the Panthers.
Mm.
With the way Bryce has been playing, and then the Panthers last, I want to say 3 games have been very close. They've been very close. They damn near beat the Eagles last game. So yeah, I will definitely take the Panthers this game. All right, then we got the Dolphins and Texans.
Texans.
Mm.
Dolphins been playing kind of decent recently.
You know what? I'm gonna take the Dolphins this game. Give me the Dolphins. Give me the Dolphins this game.
See, because CJ is kind of like, I don't know about this nigga.
Next up, we got the Bengals and Titans.
I guess the Bengals.
Give me the Bengals. Give me the Bengals, unfortunately. Next up, we got the Commanders and Saints.
Should be the Commanders, but you never know.
I will definitely take the Commanders.
Alvin Kamara might fuck around and get 6 touchdowns again. I don't know.
It wouldn't surprise me. I always get one late in this year. But yeah, man, give me the Commanders. Definitely give me the Commanders. Next up, the Jets and the Jaguars.
Trevor Lawrence back? Fuck no. Yeah, still the Jags. Yeah, still. Even without Trevor Lawrence.
I was gonna pick the Jets, but I said in the previous episode I'm done with the Jets. I'm not picking them to win shit else because every time I pick them, they've caused me a bunch of disappointment. So yeah, give me the Jags. I would take the Jags. All right, then we got the Ravens and Giants.
Ravens.
Without question, give me the Ravens.
It's an NFC team. That's what Lamar thrives on.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, definitely give me the Ravens in this one. That's without argument. All right, then we got the Colts and Broncos.
Broncos. It hurt to pick that, but Broncos.
I agree with you. Give me the Broncos as well. I think that might be a close game as well. I think that might be a close game too. Then we got the game of the weekend. Oh, I'm looking forward to this one. We have the Bills and the Lions.
Give me Detroit.
Give me Buffalo on this one. Give me Buffalo. I'll take Buffalo. All right, then we got the Bucks and the Chargers.
Chargers. Too many injuries.
I still take the Bucks. Give me the Bucks. Give me the Bucks in that one. Patriots and the Cardinals.
Cards. It better be the fucking Cards.
Give me the Cardinals. I think that game is a lot closer than we think. Then we got the Steelers and the Eagles.
Steelers. No. Eagles. Can't pick the fucking Steelers.
I gotta cover it. I gotta cover this up so I can make this pick, and it hurts me to say this, but yeah, give me the Eagles. Battle of Pennsylvania, and we ain't got we won't we without George Pickens, so yeah, give me the Eagles.
I tell you what, if y'all can stop that running game, make Jalen pass.
Yeah, and bro, you know what? I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. I'm not gonna do it because I'm not getting my hopes up. I'm not gonna do it. Moving on. Moving on. We got the Packers and the Seahawks.
Go Pack, go.
Yeah, give me the Packers as well, Evan. They're playing good football right now. Then we got the Bears and the Vikings.
Vikings, probably about 3 touchdowns. 4.
Yeah, give me the Vikings. Give me the Vikings as well. Bears got some deep, real fucking figuring out to do. All right. Then last but not least, we got the Falcons and the Raiders.
Dumpster fire waiting to happen. Fucking Falcons. NFC South seems to be owing the Raiders this year.
I will take the Falcons as well, but I mean, I'm gonna go back to some shit that Ryan said in the previous episode. It's a dumpster fire. Fucking go stink. Shit.
Two shitty teams sometimes make good games. It happened last night.
Well, I don't know. They might surprise as hell. Kirk Cousins might fuck around throw for 6 touchdowns this game. I mean, after not
he might get at least one.
And then he might be saving it. Man, I know I had no touchdowns the last 4 games, but I was saving it for this game. Hey, sit your ass down, man. You ain't no cousin of mine.
Kirk Cousins, my cousin.
I'm playing like daddy ain't. But as always, man, we thank y'all for tuning in and rocking with us, man. If you have made it to this point in the episode, please like, share, subscribe, comment, give us constructive criticism. Let me know what the fuck we doing wrong. Let us know what we're doing right. Go follow us on TikTok. You can go check out any of the older episodes on YouTube. And, bro, we getting close to playoff season, man. Make sure y'all tune in. I feel like, personally, we always have some of the best playoff breakdowns. Might see some old guests back on the show. So it's going to be lovely, man. It's going to be lovely. We will be doing some, when the offseason of football get here, we'll be doing some amazing, crazy things in the football offseason. So just, just make sure y'all tuned in, man. Like I always say, we do love constructive criticism, but, you on some bullshit, then we got to have a different conversation. But as always, man, Ryan, I love you, brother. I hope you have a wonderful, blessed rest of your week. And I hope you can, get through your work day, brother.
You too, brother. Love you, man.
I love you too, man. Until next time.